So welcome back to the channel, guys. That is me, 87 Extra, and we're actually back here for our second part of Ultimate Chaotic Game Chaotic Revenge. Obviously, this is part two of the series that we're doing here, and we're now specifically looking at the merge section. Now, before we even get into the merge, let's talk about the pre-merge because, bro, we had some shock eliminations.
Yeah,
We had some shock ones. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, some big eliminations, um, which did affect a lot of people's gameplay, and um, now it's all about the merge now.
yeah, so let me actually pull off real quick the eliminated people real quick, and just let's just go through and let me just ask you, were you surprised they didn't make the merge or not, real quick, and then we'll get to the candidates, and then we'll do the stuff like that. Ace champion, I'm not surprised. It was expected.
He was always the first boot, or at least like one of the early ones. Sorry,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Gigi, are you surprised?
not really. I think he was probably the second after the Ace champion, either him or Kroos at that time. So not that surprised.
Yeah, Eli Bungo.
Yeah, probably not surprised that he didn't make it. I feel like maybe just didn't make much alliances, and I think I'm not sure Gigi and Eli Bongo are like close or whatever. So maybe just one after the other are eliminated.
Interstellar.
I mean, we both said Kerr had a villain orc, probably an early villain orc ended. Not really surprised. Maybe just the other players in his team just saw him as a maybe a villain type or whatever, might do a little bit of chaos and all that. And all of these four were pre swap.
Yes. And now we get to the big ones. This is where it gets shocking. Sir Titan S. I feel so bad. This is probably the one I
Yeah,
feel most bad for.
yeah. Coincidentally, Sir T10 S 10th place.
Oh, oh my
So
jeez, that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, got eliminated early in the double elimination. The swap could have helped him because he stayed in his team where the majority were his original teammates. But ultimately, the people that voted to eliminate him, Kroos and Pookie, were actually from the opposite team, and it was actually Ver that decided to eliminate Sir Titanes with them because it was a 3-2 vote of Sir Titanes and Kroos. And the only two votes against Kroos was votes from Smarth and Sir Titanes. So yeah, I would say you could say I wouldn't say a shock elimination because I think at that time it was either Kroos or Sir Titanes. I feel like so not really shocking, but yeah, I would say the swap, the twist, actually worked because it caused a lot of drama, and that's what happens.
Now I know this is hypothetical, but let's say hypothetically the swap didn't happen, or let's say the other people got swapped
Mm.
instead of the other people. Do you think he still would have been eliminated? I know this is hard to say, but let's just pretend.
Mm, maybe, but because I feel like the three votes against Sir Titines, two of them were from the players that
The
then
other team,
joined, which
yeah.
were what do you call this? Quos and Pookie. Both of them came from the Tenorian Legends, moved over to Cavett, and voted to eliminate Sir Titines. So
So
I would say he would have made maybe he would have made it past the double elimination or make the merge. I feel like he would have been a early boot anyway when we get to the merge talk.
yeah, and the Dak Crazy Blamer. I remember we were kind of harsh on him, I guess, in the beginning of the season, and he actually was not as bad as we made him
Yeah,
out to be. But we still got it correct though. We didn't make the merge.
yeah. And the funny thing is, he was quote unquote the team leader of Tenorian Legends. He was the one that got like further like a bye to the latter rounds of the double elimination challenge. Um, but when he didn't win the double elimination, it was just a pile on. from the cool guy who came from Quebec, um, and also Coco Bear. So two players from Quebec that came over to Tenorian Legends joined Sliver, I believe. Yeah, they
Yeah.
also joined Sliver and eliminated uh, that crazy Blamer, who was, you could say, the team captain or whatever you want to say. So I would say that was probably, yeah, maybe before it wouldn't be a shock elimination, but considering the circumstance, I think it was a shock elimination. A team leader getting eliminated in their first immediate chance of the swap. So the double elimination actually provided the two players from the teams that swapped. They voted to eliminate the player that went out, so TTNS on Trivet and that crazy blamer from Tenorian Legends. So yeah, big surprise.
Yeah. And then the final one we got here is Liquid. Yeah, this was definitely a shock.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think I had him as my winner pick, and obviously now that's not going to happen. Um, but yeah, you could say probably also a shock as well. Everyone from the remaining Tenorian team decided to eliminate Liquid, and he made the merge last season with me in the final five. He was the first boot in our five-person alliance, but then this time it's just the same three people that eliminate that crazy blamer, eliminated Liquid, because Liquid was the only one that didn't vote to eliminate that crazy blamer in you could say the previous elimination, the double elimination. You could say it might have been the writing was on the wall. You could say for
Yeah.
Liquid, unfortunately.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and look at these people and just tell me whether you're surprised they made the merge or not, real quick. Coco Bear, are you surprised they made the merge? I'm kind of a little surprised, to be fair. A little surprised. A
A
little.
little bit surprised. I mean, he's gotten a couple of votes to be eliminated, I would say. But, he could have made the merge last season, but he didn't this time. Got a little bit of fortune and all that. He wasn't. He has been involved with a lot of eliminations this season,
Yeah.
especially
He's been on
in
thin
the double.
ice.
Yeah, it seems like he's on thin ice, but for him, finally he made the merge.
And the thing is, like, it's one of those things. It's like it doesn't matter how close it is. It's either you do it or not. So like, imagine Coco Bear actually wins this. Like after getting an elimination vote every single ceremony, and actually wins this. Like I don't think
Yeah,
it's ever happened before. In my camps, and I don't think it's ever happened in Troll Drama. No, actually, I think Duncan might have done. I think he might have done. But I think he's the only one. I don't remember anyone else. And maybe you could tell for Survivor, but I don't think it's very rare. So
like what? Like winning back to back to back to back challenges and whatever.
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's like you get a vote in every elimination ceremony. You're on the verge of being eliminated, then you make it through, and then
Oh,
you win
yeah.
at the end.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
what happened
something
before.
that has happened before, but I can't think of the top of my head. At least for Survivor, I don't
But
know about the other
yeah,
show.
I think Total Drama Duncan's the only one I can think of from Total Drama Action. But yeah, I mean, this Coco Bear maybe can actually do it, which would be crazy. That would be an incredible story. Like that would be
Yeah,
crazy.
from pre-merge last season to winner, that would be a
Yeah,
huge,
a redemption. That'll be a redemption.
yeah, huge
So
redemption.
and the Cruz man, Cruz has made it far. Not to downplay him or anything, but let's be real. He's gotta get carried.
Yeah, somewhat, but he does have the thing is,
Community hide.
he's likely going to make the final six, even though there's seven, because he does have the immunity idol, which I feel like he will play it immediately. If he doesn't win the individual immunity, he'll play the idol.
You know, be
I'm
really
pretty sure.
sad. You know, be really sad. Imagine he plays idol and then only to realize it's a waste because I'm already safe. And then the time he's actually needs idol, he's gonna get eliminated. I could see something like that actually happening.
Maybe. It depends on how he plays it, but I feel like it's likely going to be like that. But look, we'll talk about something for a different player later. But I think Kroos is probably, you could say, a shock merge because
Yeah,
he could have actually been eliminated first instead of the Ace
yeah.
champion. He could have been the first boot, and it was
Oh
only
yeah,
the 10th
because tiebreaker. Yeah.
that the
So
Ace
wow.
champion got knocked out in the
Actually,
first.
remember I said Coco Bear would be incredible. I think Cruz would actually be incredible. Actually, I think this is even better.
Yeah, I think those two are probably like
The
the
best
least
like Disney
likely
Plus.
to win. But if that's the final two, those two, then great.
I think like that. I think those two are like the best underdog story. Uh,
Yeah, I'll probably say so.
Yeah, and then Pookie, obviously a strong candidate. Obviously, I picked him to as my pre. No, actually, I picked Vor. Actually, Vor was my pick. But yeah, Pookie made the merge. This was I was kind of wanting to 50-50 about, but he just did it. I think this one around he's looking stronger than before, and I think he's got a good shot to make it back to the final again. And
Yeah,
maybe this time win it.
yeah. Um, yeah, not. I don't think I was. Yeah, I'm not that surprised he made it. I mean, anyone that made the final five last season with me, apart from Liquid, three others, not including me and Liquid, Pookie, Smurf, Enver, all three of them made it to the merge. So yeah, they're probably the big candidates to win. But yeah, Pookie, uh, probably doing a lot better this season, I would say, in terms of not
Yeah,
really being a candidate of elimination. But you never know.
yeah, because I'll be real. I think last season he got carried a lot. So this time around, I don't think he's getting carried. I think he's doing his own work. So this time around, so
Yeah,
next up we have a Slither. Now Slither is one that I think has improved. Despite even though he made the merge last season, he made just like with a basically just
he was
about made
out.
the merge.
He was
So
out in the
even
first chance. Yeah.
now you know it's really funny. What if he gets out the first round here?
Oh, that would be unfortunate. Yeah, I feel
That'd
like if
that'd be
you want
crazy.
to compare this season and last season, this season he's in a much better spot.
Yeah, yeah, much better position. Like even if he gets eliminated the first round, I would still first round of the merge. I would still say he had it better this season last season. I would still say
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I would say
So
so. So I think he could, if parts of the game can lead them through, he could make it even like the final four maybe. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
the Smoth man. Ah, I feel like I feel bad for Smoth. I feel so bad.
Yeah, yeah, because everyone here is in an alliance, a six-person alliance, and Smurf is the one odd man out.
Now,
And
unless Smoth wins,
yeah,
basically, unless Smoth wins the next challenge, which we're not going to reveal, by the way, here, um, then ooh, it might get interesting. Basically, it's basically him against the entire.
yeah,
It's basically him against the entire war.
yeah, yeah. So I think he's probably the
Yeah,
most likely to go out next unless he wins. If he wins
yeah,
every single immunity challenge, that technically means he'll make the final two already. So I think that would be the deserving winner pick because you actually won challenges and all. But yeah,
yeah,
the first opportunity that everyone has, Smurf is going out. I would say,
yeah.
unfortunately, but not surprised he
And
makes the most.
and I remember I think I picked him as my winner. I think I
Yeah,
picked him as my winner. So,
yeah,
oh, I might regret that pick. And moving on, we have next is a cool guy. Cool guy, I feel like is kind of got onto the radar, but he's done
yeah,
his good best, and yeah, he's made the merge. I don't think it's even though it might be a little surprising, I don't think it's that surprising. He's been generally
yeah,
been pretty good in the challenges, and now let's see what we can do, man. What's your
yeah. I
thoughts, cool
think,
guy?
yeah. I mean, under the radar and all that. You know, shows up when it matters and all that. So I feel like he's a good candidate to win challenges. I feel like, um, and we'll see how he goes in the latter stages of the ultimate game.
And I found the last one I have is Vor. Obviously, the one person I picked as a pre-merge candidate, I had to make a shock prediction, and there were shocks, guys. I just picked the wrong one. I just picked the wrong one. It happens a lot. Not everything goes according to script. There was always gonna be surprises, and this is one I didn't call correctly. So, and I think Vor is a strong candidate. he seems to be the main guy in this alliance. I think. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me on this. I think he seems to be the main guy.
Yeah, I mean, he does
Potentially,
very well.
yeah.
Yeah, he does
So,
really well in the challenges.
and remember, he made the final three last season, so he's looking to do one better, make the final this time around.
And maybe win it.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like everyone here, maybe with the exceptions of Coco Bear, Cruz, were expected to make the merge. You could probably say,
Yeah,
and maybe
probably.
Cool Guy. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go ahead and predict the boot order for this. I'm gonna. Is Smurf really gonna be next? Seventh.
Yeah, unless he wins the immunity challenge, I feel like he's the first one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next up we got here. It is sixth. Sixth.
the thing is that if Kroos is smart, he doesn't need to play the final seven immunity idol. So if Kroos still has his immunity idol in the final six, he can play it and makes the final five and all that. So I feel like the next elimination, sixth place might be Coco Bear or the Cool Guy.
I think I'm gonna go Coco Bear.
Yeah, I feel that.
I feel like he's the weakest of the Lions, in my opinion. I mean, we have no idea about the Lions, by the way, because they
Yeah,
have like attached. So we're just basically going off our brain here.
well, everything. Yeah.
So then fifth.
I'll say if Kroos is in the final five and still has the immunity idol, he's guaranteed final four, and that's the last time he can play it.
Yeah.
So I just have to go with that and think he will make the final four. And I feel like it's either Sliver or the Cool Guy that goes out in fifth.
Well, this is tough. I'm not sure for this one.
I'll probably have to go with.
I think.
I don't know. I feel like
I feel like they trust Cool Guy more. Something tells me you trust Cool Guy more than Slither.
yeah, because I feel like Coco Bear and Sliver. I feel like or
They're
like
got a strong bond.
yeah.
They're
So
a
if you
strong bond.
eliminate one, yeah,
Yeah, so I think Slither will be fifth.
yeah.
Then fourth, are we saying Cool Guy?
Well, I think. Well, the final four, who would it be? It would be Kroos, Pookie.
Yes.
Wait,
Cool
Kroos?
Guy and Vor. Yeah, Cruz, Spooky, Cool Guy, Vor. And remember, the final four is a double elimination.
Yeah, with the challenge and all that. So it depends if whoever's the worst performing in the challenge
Gets out.
gets eliminated, basically. So I feel like games, like knowing how the game's gone, I feel like the Cool Guy might be eliminated in fourth. I feel like he'll do the worst in that, if that's the final four.
Yeah. And the third, what are we saying, man?
Well, whoever wins the final immunity challenge in the final four, the first place makes the final two, and they will be the ones that decide between the other two. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like someone. It's either I feel like it's either going to be Pookie or Vor that wins the final two. I feel like they will take each other, and I feel like Kroos will get eliminated in third.
Yeah, I also agree.
That's
I think
my
Cruz will
thought.
get third. And then
And
Pookie
then
4 is the final.
Pookie, Vor, I mean they're also like this and all that. Um
Who would win a vote between the two? This is tough. I'm not sure for this one.
uh
I feel like
well,
they're both very similar.
yeah. I feel like
I feel like you know
most people would pick Vor. I feel like
yeah.
if this jury of five, Smurf, Coco, Bear, Sliver, Cool Guy, and Kroos, I feel like they will probably pick Vor because he's done very well in the challenges. Obviously, the Dino game, he got like I don't know how much
Insane
score.
I think that's like 40,000, I think, something like that.
Yeah, and has done well. He was when we did the swap, he was named the quote unquote best the team leader and all that. I feel like that maybe could sway opinion.
So
If
wait,
he
wait.
plays it
Yeah,
right and all that, I feel like it's going to be Vor that wins it if
yeah.
this
I
is
see.
how it pans out.
So
And
we're saying Pookie loses
unfortunately,
back-to-back finals.
yeah, for Pookie, that's why I feel
You
like
know what's really interesting? And you know what's really interesting? This is the coincidence, by the way. Pookie supports England.
it might be, and Vor is somewhat Belgian, technically Spanish or whatever, so good for him and all that. So yeah, I feel like it's somewhat of a redemption arc for Vor, getting eliminated in third, this time making the final, and then
Yeah, I remember Vor was mad that we did the worst place, the third place thing. And
yeah,
he got mad with that. But even you even admitted like you still would have picked Pookie anyway over him. So
yeah, I would have. So Vor
oh.
maybe does well, and wins the game. I feel like it'll be so funny if Vor gets eliminated next. That
Like
would
it would be really funny.
yeah,
You know, be
that
really
would
funny.
actually be
Just end it off here.
a big shock. I would
You
feel
know, be
like
really funny. Imagine the order we predicted from fourth to seventh ends up being the opposite. Like Small actually wins this. Coco Bear makes the final.
uh, I mean, seeing
I
that
feel like
someone like the cool guy feels like Vor might be a big threat in the game, that could be something that might sway people
yeah,
to Vor early. I think the sooner people realize that Vor is a very strong player in this game, they would have to really get him out the first opportunity they get. So I
okay.
feel
So
like
before round
Vor,
off,
yeah,
who do you think is the antagonist, or
I
do we
feel
even
like
have an antagonist?
if you want to say based on the alliances, Smough is the antagonist, but that's not really a big one.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like the cool guy might actually be the antagonist. He's been targeting,
Ooh,
wanted DKB out, wanted Liquid out.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I feel like the cool guy might realize Vor is a big threat to him. If he can sway a few votes, he might get Vor
yeah,
out. And
yeah. And
I
then who's
feel
the
like
main? Yeah,
so
who would you say is
antagonist.
like the main protagonist? Yeah,
I
protagonist. I
guess
would say I guess
it's Vor.
Pookie or Vor. Yeah, Pookie or Vor. I guess one of the two.
Yeah.
I'd say Vor is
I
probably
mean,
stronger. I guess.
I think the antagonists are Quills and the cool guy. Because Quills has the
Ooh.
immunity idol and all that.
Yeah, and for me,
Um,
I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with you. I do not want to see a protagonist final. I do not want to see it. It's too boring.
yeah. I mean,
Prota-
there's a potential if Sliver and Coco Bear works out very well, they can make it far. Um,
yeah,
maybe if there's a smart play, oh, it'll be so nice. When Sliver was upset that I betrayed the alliance, imagine Sliver with Coco Bear betrayed the big alliance, join Smough, ask the cool guy to join, and eliminate Vor.
Ooh. Will they do
That
that
would
though? That
that
would
would be
be
good.
that remains to be seen. Like
Yeah.
for me, I think okay. Actually, before round off, what do you think would be the best final? Forget like our predictions, like forget that because we hope we're wrong with this. By the way, I don't want this to be completely right. I hope I'm
Yeah.
wrong with this. By the way, what would be the best final from a narrative point of view? Because for me, I think the best final will be a cool guy versus Cruz. Two antagonists battle against each other, both kind of disliked. I feel like that would be the best in terms because then it's going to create tension between the voters. Like, which of the lesser evil do I vote for? You know, and I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that would be so interesting because I feel like protagonist final. It's just a matter of who you're closer friends with. You know, like I feel like there would be biasness there. But if you do like cool guy versus Cruz, there will be no bias because they're not really that well known. Well, actually, cool guy's
Yeah.
more well known, but still, like he's done so many bad things in the game that I just don't think people will like. I don't know. I just feel like that'll be the best. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I guess another good final would be like a Sliver Coco Bear final. Two kind
Oh
of
yeah, that could be.
underdogs, you could say.
Yeah.
That were kind of early boots last season. Uh, actually got into the same team in the swap. Eliminated two big threats in the swap. Could join the cool guy. That could be a three-person alliance. That can make themselves a very powerful onion alliance. So I would say Sliver, Coco Bear would be a good final two as well. But I guess the predicted one that we think that is probably the likely, unless there's a big twist in the voting and all that, because there's always close with the immunity idol. The time he plays it, and if it works out for him, someone's going to be eliminated shockingly early.
Yeah, someone's gonna get mad. Someone's gonna hold a vendetta.
Yeah. So I would say Sliver, Coco Bear would be a good final as well, but I guess Ver and Pookie might be the most predictable one so far.
Yeah, and so like I said, guys, we'll see how this ages, and we're gonna be doing a reaction video to both predictions, both set of predictions, guys, and we'll see how this both ages. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, guys, and let us know what you guys think in the comments below, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, of course. Check out Tended Diamond's channel as well. Link in the description below. Yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.